Hello guys, Lincoln here, and the main theme today will be the dungeon, which heroes to farm, also some tips and tricks when it comes to that. But also, before I do that, I'm going to go through some of the questions that you have been sending me in the comments field on these videos. And first of all, one of them has been a lot of people don't think I'm free to play. My channel is Lincoln Free to Play, and I have never spent $1 on any game. And I can understand that's hard to believe when I have heroes like Huyun here with a level 126 and some high level abilities as well. Maybe you saw my video where I made over 300 of those premium summon orbs on Huyun, and then I did over 400 more on my second account to farm Ulfuria. And basically, all I've been doing, I mentioned this a couple of times, but people don't believe me, so I show it here as well. Every day I buy with a discount price a premium orb, and then you get some from quests as well. And after waiting for a couple of months, that's when I go in and just choose one hero, focus on that, pushing that. And to prove it, I actually could show you if I click on the quests or the offers here. If I click on first purchase bonus, I still have it here. So I haven't actually gotten the first purchase bonus, which I guess should be changed once you buy something else. And the same thing goes for my second account. This is my main account. So I haven't spent anything. You can do just as well as me. Save those premium orbs instead of getting some good heroes but only having them at 4-star or 5-star. Save a lot and then just go full out once you get your favorite hero, which in my case has been Huyun on my main account for my PvE account basically. And for my PvP account, which will be my second account, then I went for Ulfuria. And I have Ulfuria on my second account. That's almost 500k in power as well. I will show you that sometime as well. So, first question. Second question being basically which heroes should you farm in the dungeon? And I made a video a long time ago when it comes to that, and I actually changed my mind somewhat because in that video, I recommended you go for Khalil. Khalil is a really strong hero, and it would be my second choice when it comes to the werewolves. But I will explain a little more in detail why I recommend another werewolf. But before we do that, I want to go through basically the simplest ones to discuss. And when it comes to vampires, the one that you should absolutely focus on, it's Birsha. Go full out on this guy, try to get him to 150. You won't be sorry. This guy is stronger than all of the legendary heroes basically. There aren't actually that many good legendary heroes. This guy is really good, and you will be able to get him to level 150 and max his abilities out within the dungeon. So go full out on him when it comes to the vampires. And when it comes to the humans, well, that's when you want Altine, full out on this hero. But to farm the high level dungeons like Birsha, you need those you need to have, in the vampire case, you need 4 werewolves, right? And that's not so easy, especially if you look on the recommendation when it comes to the level 8 vampire dungeon. That's you need, besides those 4 werewolves, you need 2 nukers. And that means you can choose whichever nuker you want as your secondary nuker. It can be someone like Daeva or Oskov maybe. That's not a werewolf, but you can only have one that has a different class than or race. But you need a werewolf nuker, and there's only one. So, because of this, I would recommend you, instead of farming when it comes to the werewolves, instead of farming Khalil, which is a good werewolf, considering, and a good, actually one of the best tanks. But we're still talking about tanks, and I mentioned this in my tier list video. Tanks are basically worst in the game. So even though he can do some good stuns, Of course you can, but in the end game, if you want some stun, you're going to use Magla instead. She's the best stunner in the game, the best hero in the game, basically. So really not worth going for Khalil either. So, but it's really worth going for Isara. She's not the best DPSers. She's not the best poison maker either, since you have someone like Sadaharu that will always beat her when it comes to the poisons. But she's one of few. She's actually the only one besides Sadaharu who can do poisons. So she is good to have. But the main reason you want to farm Isara is you need her to farm those vampire dungeons. So go for Isara when it comes to the werewolves to get her high enough to complete the level 8 dungeons to farm the more important one, Birsha. So for this reason, I would recommend werewolves, go Isara, vampires, go Birsha, and for the humans, go Altine. These are the three that I would focus on, basically. And Altine and Birsha go up to 150. They are absolutely worth it. And Isara, basically, just go as high as you need. Once you can complete the vampire dungeon level 8, that's basically when you can take a break on her and do something else. But you will actually need Isara, since she's the only werewolf nuker at the current times. Another thing that's good to know actually is that every dungeon has some good rewards as well, besides those good fragments. And if you are around, for example, level 80 on your heroes, you just manage to get some heroes to level 80, well, that's actually when you can start trying to find some good gear that has the level 80 requirement as well. So just not take the first one that the game suggests. You might actually find some really good energy on hit rings, for example, or amulets as well. And I showed you in my previous video, if you find something that's really good with high energy on hit and energy regen, like this is a weapon, they will be extremely valuable and give some really insane power as well. And easy to farm if you just look around when you, if you're in case you are level 80, try to find those level 80 dungeon. It's not level 80 dungeons, it's level 6. You need level 6 dungeons to get level 80 items, basically. That can have some really nice stats. You can find, I found before energy on hit rings with energy regen and attack power as well. So really nice stats for level 80 heroes. So I also want to mention, I mentioned this once before, this quest line is actually insane. You need those 2-hour speed ups to complete this quest. And I noticed this early on, since you can actually look what will be the next quest line. And I've been saving for 4 months, I think, those speed ups, and I still only have like 100, and you need 300 of these 2-hour speed ups. Never use these. These are extremely valuable. Basically, each one of these are worth 3 lunar emblems in the end when you start using them here. So use the 1-hour ones, the 8-hour ones, save the 2-hour ones, speed ups. You really need them for this occasion. I also want to mention the meta event. You can actually, if you click, you might have not noticed this, but if you click on the information button here, and then you scroll down to this picture where it says score meta event points, then you can actually see how many points you will get for each which meta event points you get for each normal event as well. So good place to check stuff like that out also. And today I'm going to finish this video with showing you my level 150 Sadaharu, which gear I'm using on him. And I have mentioned before that the best stats that you want, it's basically energy on hit on all your heroes, more or less. Some really demands it, some not as much. And in my opinion, Sadaharu is one of those that doesn't really need energy on hit as much. So I've gone full out on crit chance and critical damage. And the reason is when he does his normal hits, they are actually quite as deadly as well. He doesn't need his ultimate to kill stuff. He actually likes doing those normal hits to get his poison ups, since he has ability, Patient Zero, which will provide you with some extra poison on other opponents when he does his basic attacks. So I've gone full out on crit chance, crit damage, and attack power. You want some high attack power as well, since your poison ticks will depend on how much attack power he has as well. But this is one of the few heroes I haven't chosen to go full out on attack power. I can mention as well, some has asked me, why do I have my highest level hero is Grim? Is he good? No, he's terrible. This is a really bad hero, but this was one of my first heroes that I chose. So I went too heavy into his ability trees. So and the thing with tanks, they get some silly power. They aren't that good. But if you want to farm high power, well, then you just farm those tanks, and you will get some insane power. Like these two together is 1 million in power. They are terrible. We don't want tanks. But I had to focus on him in the beginning, since I didn't have so much else stuff to do. I got some insane attack power on this guy, and some really nice energy on hit as well. This actually got a double hit energy on hit with a double hit attack power, together with some more attack power, so he actually stings a lot. And with his ability Blood Shield, which actually depend on his attack power, he can actually do some really good AoE damage together with some nice heals, since his shield will, when it got destroyed, it actually gives heal as well. So got some nice energy regen, energy on hit, and attack power on this guy. Want some high dodge as well. And stat-wise, he's at max on armor. And besides that, I pushed as much health as possible. You want this on the tanks as well, so he's at 140k currently. But as I mentioned, tanks, don't focus on Grim, especially not Grim, he's not worth it. Khalid is better, but don't focus on tanks at all. Go full out on all other classes basically, but not the tanks. They were supposed to be good against the bosses, not needed, so we skip the tanks entirely. See you guys.